I always say that you can have the best ad in the world that was crafted, perfectly copywritten, has the best image ever. The ad itself could be the best thing that has ever happened since sliced bread. But if you serve that ad to the wrong audience, it's not going to work. Now, on the flip side, you could have a mediocre ad that is just kind of okay, needs a little more work on your headline, the image could use a little bit of help, but if you serve that ad and you drop it in front of the right audience who are just hot and ready to buy,
shut up and take my money,
it's going to work. So the quality of your ad is secondary, I would say, to the quality of your audiences. Today, I'm going to show you 5 must-have audiences that every Facebook ad account should have, in my opinion, to help you get the most out of your marketing budget and stretch that budget as far as it can to make Facebook ads work for you. As a business owner, I'm sure you don't have a lot of time to spend inside Facebook ads, so you need a little bit of help being told exactly what you need to do. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to set up those top 5 audiences to help you focus more on your strategy and how to get your ads in front of the right people. Welcome back to Learning Facebook Ads, where business owners like you can get ads, tips, and tricks each week to help keep you competitive. So make sure you subscribe. I am Amanda Robinson. I am the Digital Gal. Our topic today is 5 must-have audiences that every business owner should have implemented in your Facebook ads account to help you make the most of your budget and your strategy. It's going to help you with your advertising spend to make sure that you're not neglecting any area that you should be focusing on. So these 5 audiences, they should take you less than 15 minutes to create from top to bottom, and I'm going to show you exactly how in this video. By having these audiences set up, you're also going to be able to watch your audience sizes grow and help you choose where to better spend your ad dollars. The 5 audiences that we are going to set up today are a saved audience, a video view audience, an audience of anyone who is engaged with your Facebook page or Instagram profile, a website visitor audience, and an audience of people who are on your email list. Let's dive in. Before we get started, there are 2 things that I want you to have done and ready. Number 1 is installing your Facebook Pixel on your website. If you haven't already done that, there's a video to show you how to do it from start to finish for creating your pixel and installing it. The second thing is having your email list ready to go, downloaded as a CSV file, and on hand ready to go through this process of creating your audiences. So your website pixel, make sure it's installed and ready, and your email list, make sure you have that handy. Let's do this. Let's head on over to our audiences, and we're going to find that under, let's first head over into Ads Manager, and then from Ads Manager, or from Business Manager, anywhere that you're in your Facebook ads and you get presented with the 9-dot Business Tools menu up in the top left here, you're going to go into there, and there you will find audiences. If you don't have this in your menu screen up top, you can scroll down a little ways here, and you will find audiences down here in this list. So click on that and let's head over into your audiences screen. If you have never set up any audiences before, your screen is going to look like this. And if you do have audiences already set up, your list could look something like this, and you might have lots of different audiences in there. That's okay. The first audience that we are going to create is a saved audience. This is what we're going to call a cold audience of people. This is where you're going to make your first impression. The people on this audience have no clue who you are. They've probably never met you before, never heard of your brand before. They don't know you. So this is going to be our first impression. So to build this saved audience, we're trying to attract brand new people. The first audience that we're going to create is a saved audience. Saved audiences might look a little bit familiar. This panel is what you see when you're creating an ad using Ads Manager. Now, I highly recommend you create these audiences in advance and don't do it on the fly while you're uploading your ad content. Treat your audiences separately from your ads and put the work and the planning in ahead of time. Saved audiences will take you the longest out of all the audiences. So spend some time doing some research. If you want to learn how to do that research, I highly recommend the Facebook Ads 4-week bootcamp. We're just going to call this a test ad. Or a test audience, I should say. Let's go Canada and United States. United States. And let's pretend that we're trying to target people who have an interest in water skiing or wakeboarding. So I can cruise right down here to my detailed targeting. Type in water skiing, see what we get. Water skiing. And let's type in wakeboarding. And there's wakeboarding. So if I look at that, I now have 1,900,000 people who are interested in water skiing and wakeboarding. I can also click on suggestions and get some additional suggestions from Facebook. Let's throw paddleboarding in there too. And you can see that increases my audience size. And now let's say I want to narrow that down a little bit. And I want to say, you know what? They also must have an interest in Mastercraft boats. Let's see what that does to my audience size. Down to 72,000 people. That's a very small audience for targeting an international audience. So I might want to increase this, add in more. Let's go hyperlight wakeboards, 100,000 people, and so on. So you can narrow your audience to get it more specific, or you can continue to add additional interests in to increase it. Once that audience is where you want it to be, just hit save and create that saved audience. The next audience we are going to create is a video view audience. So from the drop-down menu here, you're going to create a custom audience. The remainder audiences that we're going to be making here are custom audiences, and we're going to find them in this menu. So let's create a video view audience. This is an audience of anyone who has watched any of the videos on your page. So I can say anyone who's viewed at least 3 seconds of your videos, and I can choose my page, let's say the Digital Gal, and I can see my videos in here. I can just select my videos down the list, and there's also page 2, page 3, etc. I can hit confirm as soon as I've chosen all the videos that I want to include. I have to give this audience a name. Video views, we'll say 365 days, 3+ seconds. Because I chose people who have watched at least 3 seconds of the videos, chose the videos maximum 365 days. You can see right down here, maximum amount of time is 365 days. So I also like to add in a description on these audiences on when I updated them, because your video view audiences, unfortunately, don't dynamically update with new videos. You have to continually come back in here, edit this, and check off any new videos that you create. So I like to add in the date that I last edited this. So let's go 01/20/2021, last updated, and hit create audience. Okay, and it does take some time to create that audience. So you'll see here it's populating, but it says below 1,000 people. It will take up to 24 hours for the audience to populate, to pull in all of the people that match that criteria. So give it some time. If I go down here, let's go back into our custom audiences. The next audience that we're going to create is anyone who is engaged with your Facebook page. So if I click on engage with Facebook page, I can see my page here, and I can see everyone who engaged with my page in the last 365 days. An engagement is a like, a click, a comment, a reaction, a share. Those all count toward engagements on your page. I do have other options down here. I can say I want to create an audience of anyone who has visited my page, so not just seen content going through the feed, but has actually visited my page. Or anyone who's engaged with any post or an ad from my page. Anybody who clicked a call to action button, sent a message to my page. Now that one option is not available in all countries. And anyone who saved my page or any post. Those are some of the options under the engagement category. So at the very least, I just want you to have an audience of everyone who engaged with your page in the last year. Give that a name. We'll call this engaged with Facebook page. I like to put the dates in here, 365 days, and create that audience. This audience will continue to dynamically update. The next audience we're going to create, you can do that identical one, but with Instagram if you wanted to. So for example, go to custom audience. You can also create the same type of audience, an engagement audience, with Instagram. So if you choose your Instagram account, you can target everyone who is engaged with your professional account. It has to be a business Instagram account, and it has to be connected to your Facebook page, hopefully through using Business Manager. Your maximum amount of time, again, that you can go is at 365 days. Give that audience a name, engaged with, spell that right, with IG, 365 days. Create audience. The next audience that we're going to create is a website visitor audience. In order to create your website visitor audience, you have to have your Facebook pixel installed on your website. I do have a video that shows you how to do that, walks you through that start to finish from creating your pixel to installing it on your website of choice. So again, we're going into custom audience. We're going to choose the option website. From here, you're going to notice a little difference. The maximum we can go in a website visitor audience is only 180 days. 180, so that's 6 months. We don't have a full year to retarget. I'm going to max that out to the last 180. 180, there we go. And I want to go after all website visitors. Now, yes, I am using Small Dog's ad account and Small Dog's pixel. Don't ask. I do have other options in here, though. Instead of all website visitors, I can go after people who visited specific web pages. So say I want to target anyone who has visited a page that contains the word blog. So if I have blog in my URL and then all of my subsequent blogs, that's one way to do it. Or if I wanted to target anyone who has hit a page on my website that has thank you in the URL, perhaps all my thank you pages when somebody has signed up as their confirmation, maybe I just want to retarget purchasers who have visited that. That's one way you can do it. But in this case, I'm just going to leave it as all website visitors. And then again, give your audience a name, website visitors 180 days, and create audience. This audience will dynamically update. Now, if you don't use these audiences in any of your ads, these audiences can go dormant, where your numbers here might show below 1,000 or information not available. And if you just start using that audience in an active ad, it'll wake it up and it'll refresh everything. The only thing to watch out for, though, is if you do have, for example, video view audiences and you haven't been producing video content on your page and you let that time of 365 days lapse, your audience size will slowly get smaller and smaller and smaller. An audience size getting smaller is not the same as an audience going dormant, so keep that in mind. Actively use your audiences, keep them fresh. The last audience that I want to show you is your email list. Again, create on custom audience. You're going to click on customer list. This first screen is just giving you a heads up on what information you can upload. So it has to have at least one of these main identifiers. Most of us are going to be using an email address as the main identifier. You can also use phone numbers, mobile advertiser ID, Facebook ID, Facebook page user ID, first name and last name. Now, if you use email address as the main identifier, which most of us have email lists, that's probably going to bring you the highest amount of success. The more data you have, the better Facebook can match that to other people who better match that to the same user across Facebook. The less information you have, the lower the match quality will be of your audience. So what's happening here is when you go to upload your customer list to Facebook, Facebook is looking at all the email addresses on your list and then looking at associated Facebook accounts that have the exact same email address listed. So if you have a lot of people on your email list that are like info@company123, the user probably isn't using the info@company123 email address. They probably have a personal email or an super old Hotmail address still kicking around in there. It may have been some time since they've updated their address with Facebook. So you won't get 100% match rate. I'm seeing averages around 40 to 60% match rate when you have an email list and you upload it. So if you upload a list of 1,000 people, you might match 400 to 600 people on that list. All right, we'll click next. And does your list include a customer lifetime value? Most of us don't have lists with updated customer lifetime values. If you do, Facebook will help you deliver your ads and optimize your ads better. We don't, so we're just going to say no. And next. If you get served with this message right here, Facebook is basically asking you to accept their terms and say that you do have permission to advertise to this audience and you are taking full responsibility for it. For using this data. I can click accept. And here we are. I can upload my file, so if I have my CSV file ready to drag and drop and upload here, I can do that. Or I can use the copy and paste. I can go into my list, copy a whole bunch of email addresses and names, and just paste the data in there. Either one works just fine. And then you have to give your audience a name. And in this case, we'll call it email list Jan 2020. And then once you have that uploaded, hit next, and it will tell you how many rows it has successfully updated. And then it'll take, again, about 24 to 48 hours for this list to populate. Another way that we could be doing this, let's hit cancel, create audience, customer list. And there's this option down here. If you are using MailChimp, you can import your list from MailChimp right here. I click import from MailChimp, and it's going to walk you through the steps. You basically hit login to MailChimp, and it's going to pull up your MailChimp login. You'll put in your login credentials, and it will connect to your Facebook ad account and create that audience for you. It's extremely handy, and that's the reason that I'm sticking with MailChimp, even though it's an expensive email system right now. Once you've done all of that, you'll have 5 different audiences. Now, I do have 2 engagement audiences, and I don't have my email list updated in here, but you would have you'd have your saved audience in here. You'd have a video view audience. You can have one or both, your engaged with Instagram and or engaged with Facebook page audience. You'll have your website visitor audience in the last 180 days, and you'll have your customer email list uploaded in here. Now, once you have all 5 of those audiences created, I want you to go check back in on it after 24 hours, after it's had enough time to populate all of those audiences and give you your audience sizes. I want you to go and screenshot those audience sizes, or go record it on a Google spreadsheet, go record it somewhere so that you have a baseline. So you can see when you created these audiences and you're first starting out, you can see how many, what the size of that audience is. So that as you continue doing your Facebook ads and creating additional ads, running some ad spend and working on your content, you're going to start seeing those audience sizes grow. So when you first start out, you might not be serving ads that are going from a cold audience into a customer overnight. It's going to take time. Usually I say it takes about 3 months of advertising to really start seeing some results come through. But in week 1, week 2, month 1, month 2, you can see those audience sizes start to take a life of their own. You'll see them starting to grow. The other benefit is that you'll also notice what audiences are not growing, which can help you realign your content strategy to say, you know what, we don't really have much going on Instagram. Not really a lot of engagement going on over there according to our Facebook audience sizes. So let's put a strategy together to put more content on Instagram. Let's do some user-generated content. Let's spend time commenting on other people's posts and listening for certain hashtags, and let's put some effort in there. Let's get our Instagram engagement up so that we can retarget our ads. When I say Facebook ads, we can retarget our Facebook ads. It's Facebook or Instagram ads. You could serve Instagram ads from Facebook's ads platform with Ads Manager. So you can use your audience, the audiences that we created today, you can use those to help see where your strategy is going and see where you have areas for improvement. And on top of that, if you have those audiences, you are more likely to use them. If you don't have them built, it's less likely you're going to use them. So go forth, create those audiences. Let me know how it goes. If you need any help, if you need one-on-one help, you can jump on a coaching session with me. If you want to learn Facebook ads from the ground up, I highly, highly recommend that you check out the 4-week Facebook ads bootcamp program. The next one is upcoming in February. So jump in, learn Facebook ads in the 4 weeks with myself, Amanda Robinson, the Digital Gal, and you'll be off to a strong start for 2021. Thank you. I am Amanda Robinson. I am the Digital Gal, and I'll see you again.